Hi there, and welcome to the What's New movie for the second release of Q3, scheduled for around the weekend of the 10th of August. So let's dive in and have a look at what we've got in the Spectrum release. Spectrum release because we're covering both ends, from people that are starting on their first workspace right through to organizations that have got data and are using it for professional development and performance management. So words that don't often come across the lips of a guy from the north of England. It's quite an exciting release, is this one. We'll see why that is in a second. So we'll just have a quick run through of what we've got. Looking at the admin console to start with, we've built in a fully provisioned getting started wizard. So the people that are firing up their first workspace, it will take them through step by step on what's required to get that up and running and optimized. And for those organizations that are looking to move from 6 to 7, we've got an organizational migration analysis report, and we've actually built that into the individual's reports as well, with an opt-out option, so you can let us know if you don't want that including. But we think it's a good thing to start advising individuals, what that migration path would look like. But we can build your own template that doesn't include that extra data. And finally, we've gone to a widescreen format to make better use of the monitor real estate, and we'll see what that looks like when we dive in and have a look. But the exciting item that we've included in this release is the ability for managers and team leaders via the planner console to actually get detailed analytics about all of the people that work for them or report into them. So it's really opened up the data now to a much broader audience. So let's have a look at the admin console to start with. Okay, so hopefully you can immediately see that this is widescreen. And for those that have been into the console before, you'll notice now that we've got this getting started list up in the top left. And more importantly, above the actual workflow page itself, we've now got a list of steps and actions to take, initial tasks, recommended tasks, just so you can sort of quickly get through that configuration and get the best out of the system as far as things like automation are concerned. Very simple. Once you've been through all of the tasks, just mark it as complete. It hides it. You work through each one, and by the time you get to the last one, you just get a small dialogue telling you you've completed the setup, and then the setup instructions disappear. Obviously, if you create a new workspace, they'll come back again. If we just have a look at the reports as well. So as I mentioned, we've included a migration analysis report for 6 to 7. We're looking at that right now, so you'll see detailed list, names, email addresses, a skill that they've selected with the level number next to it, with the skill name, and then a detail about what's changed and whether it's a high or a medium impact. So we've not included the low impact, as we thought would be a pretty big report if we did. So these are where there's been a significant change to the definition or a name, or indeed where skills have actually been removed, etc. So for all of the skills that have changed or say been removed, we've got some advice and guidance there just to help understand what the magnitude is of your migration. And of course, we're very happy to help with that as well. If we look at it from an individual's point of view, pretty much the same report. So this is at the bottom of the personal skill profile report. So we've got a table here listing the skills that are impacted by a migration with the same advice and guidance, but just down at an individual level. And we drop in the details of the administrator of the system, so they've got a contact point if they want to discuss migration. The way that we've got that set up is it would be a workspace on block, not one person individually, or that would get fairly interesting from an overall management point of view. Okay, and let's go and have a look at the big change that we've implemented. Okay, so I'm in the planner console here. I'm logged in as a person that through the admin console has been assigned to have team members and people that I manage. And you can see over on the left-hand side here, there's another menu item called Analytics. And not surprisingly, if I click on that, it loads up Analytics. Let's just have a look at this first page, just go through it, just a couple of the things. So we've got a tree map of basically the Sophia framework and where the skills sit, so individuals with each skill. We've got filters up at the top here, so we can filter on self-rated or endorsed data against either skills or level of responsibility. We've got a detailed breakdown here of division, business unit, and departments and teams. So if you do have a detailed breakdown, you can filter on that. And then these two tables are where all the data is held. So full list of levels of responsibility and a full list of professional skills. We can obviously filter using this screen. So if I just click on one of these, it'll filter all the data underneath. But most importantly, as a manager, what I can do is export this data and maybe analyze it outside of the planner if I need to. So basically making that data available very easily to managers for people that they're responsible for. So what else do we have? We built another page here, which is mapping of individuals to their jobs. We've got a default filter set. You can see up in the top right here, the relationship is between people and their current jobs. And I've got two different views, one using endorsed data if you have it, and one using self-rated data. Loads of other filters available. I can filter on people or jobs. I can filter on percentages. So I can, sort of dive in and look at where I'm most exposed. So if I click on this here, somebody only a 14% match, it's showing me who they are. So 14% match for endorsed skills and a 32% match for self-rated. Obviously still not a good match, whichever way you look at it. So a very quick way of giving me that real big picture view of what that mapping looks like in terms of my people and the jobs that they're assigned to. Next step, obviously, on from that is gap analysis. So we'll show you a full detailed breakdown of skill gaps. We preset some filters for you here. So we've got required skills, a skill gap against current job. So if I can dive in and just say, I just want to look at self-rated. So it's going to filter for me, give me a list of every individual that has a skill gap against the current job. And you can see up in this table here, I've got a full list. And once again, I can focus on that, or I can export the data to a spreadsheet. The table up in the top right here is just a quick run through. If you had more data in, you'd see some skills might have more gaps than others. So it gives you the opportunity to maybe bring a few people together and address one skill gap across a few people in one hit. And then down at the bottom is a list of the actions that people have got in place. It's sorted on to do. So it's every action with a name, what skill is being addressed by that action, how many days it's likely to last, some description, and importantly, the target date over on the right-hand side. And again, all of that can be exported. So really big step forward in terms of the functionality around the planner, and particularly for people who have got responsibility for other people, giving you that sort of deep insight into the skills you have, the skills you need, and how you're addressing the skill gaps. So taking us back to the fundamentals once again. Okay, so that's a run through of what we've got in this latest release. Not many items on that list, but some pretty significant work has gone on behind the scenes. And as mentioned, all being well, we'll be releasing that weekend of 10th of August. Thanks again for your time. Hope you're going to enjoy those new features. And if you have any questions, give me a shout at paul.collins@skillstx.com. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next What's New video.